It's the start of a new era for Supreme F1 Racing League. Welcome, my name is Lightshock16, also known as Mark, if you would prefer to use that. I have decided to try my hand at commentary, and I will be hopefully joining you for the next 11 or so rounds, work permitting. And what a way for me to start with the quote-unquote jewel of the calendar at Monaco. A very short track with many famous moments throughout the history of Formula One, and I'm looking forward to a really good race here. I have no idea what to expect. Obviously, this qualifying format is something I'm not used to. I'm not used to people doing Q1, Q2 and Q3, so I'm greatly looking forward to this. So, let's focus on the action at hand. So, yes, Supreme F1 Racing League host round 10 at the Monaco Grand Prix. This is one of the most famous tracks in the world. It has 18 corners with many famous names such as Saint-Devoux, Casino, Mirabeau, Nouvelle Chicane, the swimming pool chicane, and of course Rascasse, where the legendary Michael Schumacher kind of fluffed things up a bit, so to speak, in 2006, where he went off and quote-unquote crashed and secured pole position, but was then afterwards excluded from the qualifying results. It's a track that has had many famous names win it, with none so more than the great Ayrton Senna, taking 6 Grand Prix wins here, closely followed by Michael Schumacher and also Graham Hill, who both have 5 wins at this magnificent track. I should actually focus on the racing at hand though, because we already have a yellow flag and a driver out, being F1 XL Venoms, who has not even set a lap time but has already retired. I'm being told as well it's a completely dry weekend, which is handy. Thank you very much for that, F1 Leclerc. But wow, that's an interesting way to start. We've got one driver out already. We've got a few going out onto their laps. Let's go on board with ZX Neglets as he goes for his fast lap. Round the slow chicane into Mirabeau. Doing well. Try the UI for a minute. And Funky Burger there getting out of the way. That's a name I actually recognise, which is nice to see. As he comes down into the Nouvelle Chicane. Oh, a bit slow going through, but he's got through. He's still going. I believe he's going to be the first one to set a lap time. I might be wrong. We'll find out soon enough. As he comes through the swimming pool area. Oh, bit of a touch on the wall, but he keeps going through town to Rascasse, slowly around there, and onto the through the final corner. It's actually Ninja Bear sets the opening lap with a 1:12.7, but Neglets goes through with a 1:13.3, which is a respectable lap time, but he's second currently. Let's see who else is out on a lap. Rojas just come out. Championship leader here, Matt45, aka No Scope. I do have the championship results in front of me, so he leads on 143 points, with his closest rival being F1 Leclerc in the Ferrari on 122 points, and then F1 XL Swayze is in third for the other Red Bull with 91 points. But let's see what the championship leader does as he goes around the final corner, powers down the straight. It's only 4th, only 5th place, with Norris going fast as well, and 1:16. That's not a quick time. So I presume he's either made a mistake or something's happened there. But currently Ninja Bear 69, fantastic name by the way, leads the way on a 1:12.7. But others are going on their laps. Don't forget, this is only Q1. You only need to be in the top 15 to get this through, which means we're only going to lose one driver from this session. Only one driver is going to be lost from the session, and to be honest, considering he is already retired, chances are it will almost certainly be F1 XL Venoms. And even if he does get through, he won't be able to partake in the rest of the qualifying session. So, honestly, only Constant Ryan 181, the only person that's still behind him technically on the grid order. All he has to do is set a lap time, and he's through Q1. So let's be brutally honest now. This session is a bit meaningless, as we've already lost the only driver we're going to be losing in Q1. Nevertheless, we'll keep going and see what the pace looks like. Funky Burger has popped up into second place in the Mercedes. He gets out of the way of, I believe that's Big Will Leclerc going around. But that's a 1:12.8 for Funky Burger, a very respectable lap time. Let's have a look. It was F1 Leclerc that he was letting through, and this is the guy in second place in the championship. So he is someone who I have had many battles with myself, as Big Will pops up into second place, right in between Funky and Ninja Bear with a 1:12.7. And F1 Leclerc now coming up to Raskas. Let's go on board with him, see how he takes the final corner. Looks pretty solid, and that's a retirement from Matt 45, perhaps realising that there's little point in continuing for another lap, as Leclerc goes third with a 1:12.8. Not a bad lap time at all. But perhaps Matt heard my comments and realised there was little point in continuing. Indeed, Swayze and Neglect have also retired from the session. As Double A pops up in second. Rollhard has gone faster of all, 1:11.8. That's a very good lap by the Renault driver, Rollhard lad. Very much setting the way as we go. But yeah, I think people may have listened to me and realised that there's little point in wasting more tyres. And that's on the medium compound tyres as well. Rollhard has done that lap. That's a very impressive lap time on the medium tyres. Double A as well as on the mediums, and the McLaren in second. So that's impressive. Yeah. Let's see. Only Roland and Constant Ryan 181 yet to set time. So let's go on board with F1 XL Run. Well, let's just watch him going around through the swimming pool area. He takes that pretty nicely. Ooh, that looked like a cut, but he might have got away with it. Goes round the round Raskas and onto the main straight, as Leclerc retires as well. And what does Roland do? Roland pops up to 8th place with a 1:13.3, comfortably through. So the only one we need to really watch now is Constant Ryan, to see if he sets a lap time to push the already retired Venoms down into 16th place. Let's go rolling through the tunnel as he approaches the Nouvelle Chicane. Oh, that didn't look too bad. Did not look bad at all. I've got a message from someone. I'm just going to have a look what it says. No idea who it is, and he's just sent me a message saying, "Yo, mate." I don't know who you are if you are watching, so you have to specify for that. Sorry about that. But anyway, Constant Ryan goes fastest of all, 1:10.8. So that's a very impressive lap time by the Racing Point there. And yeah, that's pretty much the session over effectively. I mean, people can still go out and do laps if they so please. But honestly, with Venoms having retired from the session for whatever reason, we have the 15 drivers that will be going through to Q2, with only F1 XL Venoms being eliminated at this early stage. So while we wait to see what goes on with that, I'll give you a little more. I'll go through the championship order, seeing as I actually could use a look at this myself. So as I said, Matt 45 leads the way on 143 points. F1 Leclerc is second place with 122 points. F1 XL Swayze and the sister Red Bull, Matt in the other Red Bull, Leclerc in the Ferrari. Swayze is third with 91 points, 31 adrift of Leclerc. The fellow Ferrari, F1 Norris, is in fourth place, quite a way back from Swayze on 62 points. Roll Hard Lad in the leading Renault car is on 58 points, 4 points back from Norris. F1 Rosberg in the Mercedes, 52 points in 6th place. 7th place, AA 1903 in the McLaren, 50 points. Number 8, Jezza, who is not here, it seems, in the Williams with 48 points. In 9th place, F1XL Roland in the 2nd McLaren on 42 points. 10th place, Constant Ryan 181, who set the fastest lap in Q1 on 37 points. In 11th place, Big Will 1185 in the leading Alfa Romeo car on 27. 12th place, Red Devil Dom on the 2nd Alfa Romeo in 24 points. 13th place, JRT Sambo in the leading Toro Rosso, 22 points. 14th place, El Portero, however you pronounce it, on the 2nd Mercedes car, 8 points. 15th place, Yes, My Name's a Beer in the Renault, 4 points. 16th place, Crawford 46 in the Racing Points on 2 points. 17th place, Kimmy's the Iceman Haas for 1 point. And Goals and F1XL Chaos are 18th and 19th in the Toro Rosso and Williams, each with 0 points. So, Jez is ill, I'm just being told. That's why he's not here today. So that's Q1 over with Constant Ryan 181 leading the field. But as I said, it was it turned into a bit of a meaningless session with F1 XL Venom's retirement. This is, however, Q2. This will be far more interesting, as now the next 5 drivers will be eliminated. So only the top 10 go through to Q3. And at Monaco, qualifying is absolutely essential. Not completely everything, though, because Monaco is a track where insanity is never far away. I am often reminded of the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix, where almost every car retired. Only 3 cars finished on the lead lap, with it being Olivier Panis's one and only victory in F1 in the Ligier car, with David Coulthard second and Johnny Herbert third. That was one of the most manic Monaco Grand Prix I've ever watched, and who knows, this could go that way rather than the way of a Grand Prix like 2012, where Mark Webber took pole and Michael Schumacher took pole but was then demoted 5 places for an earlier incident, and Mark Webber started on pole and basically led from start to finish in that. So this is a track where either goes one of those 2 ways. Either pole position is crucial in everything, or it's an absolute manic race where anything could happen. So we are now going to be eliminating the next 5 drivers from this session. I suspect if people weren't pushing before, they're going to start turning up the wick, so to speak. On board again with ZX Neglects, who I believe is the first. No, Roll Hard Lad, I believe, is the first car out. He set a very impressive 111.8 on the medium tyres. Be interested to see if he was actually pushing, though. He's on the soft compound tyres now. And obviously another detail that has to be taken note of, when you've got Q1, Q2 and Q3, whatever tyre you qualify on in Q2 is a tyre you will start with, assuming that is you make it into the top 10. So if you get through in the top 10, you will be starting whatever tyre you got through on. So it'll be interesting to see if any of the faster guys might think about going onto the harder tyre. But we'll see as we we'll stay on board with Roll Hard Lad as he goes through Sandovo up towards I can't remember the name of this corner, but I know it goes into the casino corner here as we go around here into the first part of Mirabeau, and round she goes, very nicely held, and into the slowest corner in F1 on the whole grid when the chicane into the second part of Mirabeau. And now he powers down towards the tunnel. This is the fastest part of the track through the tunnel as he heads down towards the Nouvelle chicane. Very nicely done. Keeps on the power down through this corner. You have to aim like you're going for the wall and trust the car will understeer as he heads through the swimming pool complex. And now down towards Vasquez. We got Toro Rosso in the way. BX does a very good job. It might still have put Roll Hard lad off though. BX did the best he could considering, but see what Roll Hard does. It's a 1:10.9, which was about a tenth slower than what Constant Ryan managed in the Racing Point. Not a bad lap at all though. Let's see how Neglects does. And we'll see what other times pop up as well. But I think Neglects isn't going to be the next one to set a lap. No, Map 45. Again, that's not a fast lap by the championship leader. 1:13.0. That's almost more than 2 seconds off of Roll Hard's pole setting pace. Neglects has set 1:12.3. F1 Norris in the Ferrari 1:13.8. Is this perhaps maybe a track that No Scope does not fancy himself on? Hello, Roland. I do see your icons there, and I like them very much. F1 XL Swayze goes second with a 1:11.7. Who is on a lap? I think BX might be on one. He's on the hard compound tyres. This will be interesting. See what? Oh, but he's touched the wall. It's going to be surely game over for that lap. He cut the chicane, I think. And yes, he goes into the pits. So, only 6 drivers have set a competitive lap time so far. With Roll Hard now leading the way on a 1:10.9. F1 XL Swayze second, 1:11.7. ZXL Neglects third, all 1:12.3. Is Swayze going for another lap, or is he just coasting back to the pits? I'm not sure. Constant Ryan has just left the session, I believe. So that could be a disconnect, which would be unfortunate considering the pace he showed in Q1. Certainly hope he can get back into the lobby before time out. Well, we got a bit of a lull in proceedings. I'll go over the constructor standings, so I only went over the driver standings. Red Bull comfortably lead the way in the SFRL constructors on 234 points, with Ferrari, their closest challengers, on 166 points. McLaren are third with 92, Renault fourth 62, Mercedes a close fifth on 60, Racing Point 57, Williams on 48, Alfa Romeo 34, Toro Rosso 22, and Haas, no longer Rich Energy Haas, but Haas are propping up the field on 18 points. Be interesting to see whether ZX Neglects can change that at all. I believe he's a new driver, because he's not on the current roster, the current leaderboard. So he must be a new driver. In fact, we've got a lot of drivers here who perhaps are making their SFRL debut. I believe Funky and BXTN are 2 that are making debuts. Who's on a lap? Dom is on a lap. He's on the medium compound tyres. He goes around there, heading down towards Raskas. Ooh, a bit wide, but keeps hold of it. Ooh, had to turn twice there. It's not a good corner. Oh, let's see what Dom does. Times he put on the board to 1:15.7. That wasn't a good lap by Dom. He knows he's going to have to go again, surely. But he backs off for this lap. Let's see. I think go on board with Snake Drian. Snake and Rian. I think that's how you pronounce it, I presume. In the other Haas car. Oh, very colourful helmet as well, green, grey and black. It goes round the court, round the Nouvelle chicane, powering down. Got a Red Bull behind him, but he shouldn't be able to. He should be able to complete the lap. Ooh, I think he's lagging a bit. Oh, yes, he is lagging very badly. Nevertheless, it won't affect qualifying, so we'll see how he see what kind of lap time he does as he goes down the main straight. And Snake and Rian 1:14.0, 7th place, ahead of only Red Double Dom. I think Double A is on a lap as well, so we'll see how he gets on. Hard to think. Ooh, was that a tap of the wall? I couldn't quite tell. I think he might have got away with that. As the McLaren goes round, looking pretty racy. He was not far off Roll Hard lad's time on the medium tyres in the last session. Let's see what Double A does. He goes second, 1:11.3, 4 tenths off of Rollhard's time. About the same gap he had in Q1 on the same tyres as well. So that might be a concern to him that he's got a consistent gap to Rollhard, who I'm sure he must be seeing as a rival. But who knows, maybe he can claw a bit of that time back somewhere. Let's see who else is on a lap. Funky Burger. Nope, he's going into the pits. He's going into the pits, so never mind. Oh, what's going on? Venom's left. Something happened. Venom's has left the session, so that looked bad. Means the host will have changed, so it's a bit of a worry. Anyway, one more with F1XL runners. I've noticed BX has popped up into second place with 1:11.0. Fractionally off of Rollhard, about a tenth and a bit off of Rollhard's time. So, looks like pole position could be very hotly contested here as we watch F1XL run going through the tunnel. Looking pretty solid as he keeps it down towards the Nouvelle chicane. Ooh, bit of an odd change down there. Snake and Rian has retired from the session. Was that a crash or a retirement? I didn't actually see. But never mind. There's Matt, I believe, the championship leader. Oh, he's missed the chicane. I've noticed he has improved to a 1:11.9, so perhaps he has found a little more speed in that Red Bull car. Who was that? I believe that was Roland. Has popped himself into 6th place on a 1:12.2. Not a bad lap by Roland. Very good. So, who else is on a lap? I think, no, Matt's coming to the pits. He's gone board with Ninja Bear on the medium compound tyres here. Let's see how he does on these tyres. I believe, in fact, I'll check. Check the detail. Yes, everyone. Oh, BX is on the medium compound tyres as well, as is F1 Leclerc. Their best time. Oh no, F1 Leclerc was on a hards. That's a very impressive lap by BXTN90. Medium compound tyres, and he's only a tenth off of Rollhard, lad. And remember, whatever tyre you qualified on Q2, as I stated earlier, that will be the tyre. As F1 Leclerc goes fastest on the medium compound tyre, 1:10.5. Now that's a very good lap time. Very good lap time by the Ferrari driver, who, as stated earlier, he is trailing Matt 45 in the championship by about 20 or so points. A bit more than that. So, but No Scope does not look particularly fast on this Monaco circuit. So I wonder if Leclerc may be able to take advantage of that. And remember, he only has to be in the top 10. I would say the cut-off point maybe somewhere around a 1:11.5. So I think everyone from AA downwards will definitely have to go again to try and improve. I could be wrong, and it depends on. We still have 3 drivers yet to even complete a lap. Constant Ryan, who, as we said, led the way in Q1. So we'll see what he can do. He is on a lap as we speak. Let's go on board with him for a bit. As BXTM retires, clearly happy with the job he's done to put himself. So yeah, I think BXTM will be safely through. Let's see what Constant Ryan does. Big Will has popped him up into 5th place, 1:11.6. So that was near enough the cut-off point I said. So I think a 1:11.5 as Constant Ryan goes fastest, but on the soft compound tyres compared to Leclerc, who was on the mediums. Still a very impressive lap by Constant Ryan, improving by 5 tenths over his Q1 effort with a 1:10.4. Now, so in the bottom 5 at the moment, we have Ninja Bear 69, F1 Norris, Snake and Rian, who has retired, so he's definitely out of Q2. But we also have Red Devil Dom and Funky Burger 21. Now, honestly, I'm going to say this now. I think this will be a surprise if Funky Burger drops out at this stage. I think he's got a bit more pace to offer. And I think the same could be said for F1 Norris. I think he should be able to go a bit faster. Whether he will or not remains to be seen. I don't actually know how Ninja Bear 69... I've never seen him race before, so I don't know what his pace is like. Same can be said for Snake Rian. Red Devil Dom, he may be able to get out of Q2. He's definitely got the potential to do it, but whether he will or not, I don't know. As Funky Burger popped himself into 6th place with a 111.3, I think that will be safe, especially as there are several drivers that are still in the pits. Big Will and Swayze are in the pits. Matt 45, the championship leader, has retired and is only 9th. So this could be quite crucial. If Matt can't improve his time, if Matt 45 can't improve his time, he may be going out of Q2 here. As Roland is on his out lap and is just starting his flying lap. Big Will has retired as well. As Funky Burger, I'm trying to see who's on lap. So we'll go on board with F1XL Roland. So Neglects is out. Ninja Bear 69 is definitely out as well. There's no way they can set times. It's all on. Can F1 Norris improve? He can, but not enough. Only up to 12th place. Ferrari driver not seeming comfortable here, and he's not going on the lap, so that is Norris out. So the only one we need to see is Red Devil Dom. Can he get himself out of Q2? Can he get out of Q2? No, he can't, unless this is his fast lap he's going on to now, which it might be actually. So we'll stay on board with Red Devil Dom, see if he can get out of Q2. This is a crucial lap by Dom. He needs to find 3.2 seconds on this lap. I don't know if he's had a very clean lap though. Last time I was on board with him, it wasn't a good lap by him, so he might have more pace to give. I do not know. But let's go on board with him as he goes through the Mirabeau and towards the tunnel area. So this is crucial. Dom is the only person who can take Roland out of the top 10. As he goes through the Nouvelle chicane, looks pretty solid. Doesn't look too bad at all as he comes down here towards this corner. A bit slow, but still going. Oh, there's a Ferrari there that's either go out of the way or crash, one or the other. I presume go out of the way. Ooh, very odd downshifts there by Dom. That's some very understeering Alfa Romeo there. And again, he's suffering from understeer a lot here, Dom. And as he goes over the line, he stays 15th place with a 1:14.6. He did improve, but nowhere near enough. And that is that for Q2. I reached level 50. I just reached level 50 and I was spectating. How's that for dedication? But there we have it. So the drivers knocked out in Q2 are ZX Neglects in the Haas, F1 Norris in the Ferrari, Ninja Bear 69 in the Toro Rosso. Did not set a lap on softs for some reason. Maybe crashed, I'm not sure. Snake and Rian in the other Haas, and Red Devil Dom in 15th place in the Alfa Romeo. That Alfa looked to be really suffering from serious understeer, and Dom does not look happy on this course, and he will start 15th last except for F1XL Venoms. Through to top 10, Ryan, Leclerc, Rollhard, BXTM, Double A, Funky Burger, Big Will, Roland, Swayze, and the championship leader, No Scope, who I'm not sure if he crashed or not. I presume he will still get to go again. Yes, I believe he will, in fact. So perhaps a bit of a sigh of relief for the championship leader, who very likely could have been knocked out in Q2 there. He has definitely not got the pace. He doesn't seem to be on the pace in this race. And Leclerc does. His closest championship rival looks to be in fine form, getting through Q2 on the medium compound tyres, which means he will start on those tyres. I believe BXTN is the only other one to do that. Not 100% sure on that, but we'll see how it goes on that one. But here we are, into Q3, the final shootout. All drivers are given an extra set of soft compound tyres to go out and try and get the maximum out of their car, the absolute fastest lap, to see who will make up the grid for this round 10 of the SFRL Monaco Grand Prix. And we have a few drivers going out already. BXTN is out. Rollhard is out. Big Will has gone out. I think Big Will is the first car out in the Alfa Romeo. It'd be interesting to see if he's suffering from the same issues as the sister car was suffering with. He's got Rollhard lad right behind him. And those Big Will, for some reason, is on the medium compound tyres, even though this is a session where you just want pure lap time. I don't understand why Will is on the medium compound tyres at this stage. Makes little sense to me. But I'm not going to question him. It's his choice. He's welcome to do whatever tyre strategy he wants. Yeah, Leclerc, you were only 1/10 off of Constant Ryan on the medium tyres. You've got some serious pace here. And you definitely look to be the odds-on favourite for pole position in that Ferrari car. But anything could still happen. We still have 9 minutes and 45 seconds to go to see who will get pole position, which could be one of the most crucial pole positions in this SFRL league. So I'm still getting used to the name. Supreme F1 Racing League, SFRL. I'll get there eventually, don't worry. So Big Will is on his lap as he comes down through the first part of Mirabeau, down towards the hairpin. The slowest part of the corner, and you can see the F1 cars do not like how slow it is. Because, incidentally, they have to have a very special steering rack put into the car just for this track. Just to get around that corner. That's how slow it is. They have to change the car fundamentally just to make it round the corner. As we'll stay on board with Big Will as he comes around here. Oh, he's gone very wide there. That's not a good corner. But he still keeps going through the swimming pool complex. Round here and heading down towards Rasgas. That's a good corner there though. See what time he does. Remember, this is on the medium compound tyres, which he doesn't really need to be using. But let's see what he does on the tyres. It's a 1:13.2. Rollhard lad is on the softs, and there's a 1:10.4. Not a bad lap at all. I believe that matched Constant Ryan's lap from last. Speaking of Constant Roll, BXTN has gone second on a 1:12.2, but it looks like he might be on a fast lap now. No Scope, Matt 45 is on a 1:12.4, perhaps not his best. He's definitely gone quicker than that before. Perhaps a mistake made during that lap. Let's go on board with Constant Ryan, though. He was the fastest in Q2. Let's see what he can do. Can he go any faster and put F1 Leclerc under pressure? As Swayze goes second with 1:11.2. Constant Ryan, 1:09.9. What a lap by the Racing Point. First driver into the 1:09s all weekend. And that's a very good lap for Leclerc to chase down. The Racing Point looking very comfortable here, I believe. I'm just going to look back at the standings. No, this is not his first race. I do apologise. I thought he was one of the debutants. But no, he's currently 10th place in the standings on 37 points. But he's looking good for a good result here, so that could very well change after this race. But let's go on board with the man in second place in the standings, F1 Leclerc, who was second in Q2 on the medium compound tyres. So the Ferrari will be starting on the medium tyres. Whether that's the right strategy or not, we do not know right now. But let's see how he does as he goes through Mirabeau down towards the hairpin. Looks smooth as you like, pretty good. He's got a Toro Rosso following him as well. And Leclerc puts it round and heads through the tunnel complex. Tunnel area, sorry, not complex, that's swimming pool, I should be saying that for. And he comes down to the Nouvelle Chicane. Goes around there, looks pretty smooth, he looked very good. Leclerc is a driver I very greatly respect. I race him a lot in other leagues, and I know he's a very hard but fair driver. He's very fast as well, and he could be on course to go pole position here. It's looked a very good lap from what I can tell as he comes through the last corner. He goes down the straight. What has he got to offer? It's only third! Only third place for F1 Leclerc, a 1:10.4. Perhaps a mistake made early in the lap that I didn't spot. But F1 Leclerc only third place behind BXTN 90 in the Toro Rosso as well. I was honestly expecting a pole time there. But no, only third place for the Ferrari. Who else is on the lap? I believe both McLarens are on laps now. Yes, they are. AA 1903 is the lead of them. So we'll go on board with these two, see how they do. As we head down to the Nouvelle chicane, let's go on board. See how his... Looks pretty smooth. That was pretty good. Let's see how AA takes this corner here. Bit wide, but keeps it together, keeps it steady through the swimming pool complex. To this next chicane here. And, ooh, a bit of a touch of the wall, but gets away with it. I don't think he'll have any damage from that. Through Raskas. And now to the final corner. Onto the pit straight. DRS wide open. What can AA offer? Only 5th place. 111.1. Not bad. And what about Roland, his teammate? 7th place. 111.7. McLaren's doing very well. They've got both cars into Q3. And they're looking competitive. Not bad at all. Splitting the Red Bulls is Roland of Swayze and championship leader Matt 45. With only Funky Burger yet to set a competitive lap time. But I believe that he is on an outlap, so that should change soon enough. There is a 5-place grid penalty for F1 XL Roland for colliding with his teammate. I just spotted that in the corner of my eye. F1 XL Roland has got a 5-place grid penalty apparently for colliding with AA 1903. Oh, and he's just hit the wall as well. He must be pushing it hard again. And he's taken a visible chunk out of his front wing. And AA is retired. What has happened with the two McLaren drivers? It's utter implosion. AA's out. Roland's hit him and got a penalty, and he's missing half his front wing. He can't even control the thing. What has happened to McLaren? Absolute bedlam and confusion, frankly. I have no idea what happened. Please, Roland, someone, if anyone has any... If someone could give me a bit of insight into what happened there, I'd love to know. We'll go on board with Funky Burger, who is the only driver not to set a competitive time so far. I'm just going to take a swig of the drink. So we've got to go through the chicane. Ooh! I wish I had been focusing there, because I just saw Funky Burger whacking the wall hard. I think he's still going to finish the lap though. But that was a very hard shunt going through the swimming pool area. And in fact, he's pitting. And that could be a very wise decision. If he can get out quickly enough, he should be able to go again. You've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's about a 1:10 lap. So if he's quick, Funky might still have a chance to get out and get a good position. As Big Will goes 7th place in a 1:11.5. Swayze first. Constant Ryan is out on a lap, as is BXTN 90. They're on their out laps. Roll Hard Lad is on a lap. Let's see how he does. Ooh, a bit more wobble there, but he's still going up towards Raskas. And then heading to the final corner. Look pretty smooth. Let's see what he can do. He's 4th place at the moment. Can he improve on a 1:10.4? Yes, he can. 1:10.2. He goes 3rd, ahead of F1 Leclerc, who is on his outlap now. So it'll be interesting to see if Leclerc can overtake Rollhard, as Constant Ryan is on a lap. BXTN has just started his lap as well. So let's go on board with the Irish driver in the Toro Rosso car and see how he does. BXTN, excuse me. BXTN, another very respected driver across the leagues that I know personally. I've raced with him a lot. He's a very hard, one of the best defenders across the leagues, in my opinion. If you get stuck behind him, that's a problem, especially around Monaco. So it'd be interesting to see if he's got any more to offer here as he goes through the mirror boat. As Swayze retires, perhaps feeling he can't do any better. He has done a 1:10.9. He's 5th place overall, which is not bad. Oh, BXTN has hit the wall. I believe he has just scuppered his chances of improving. Yes, he's missing his left end plate there. So I believe that's BXTN out of the picture, at least for that. Constant Ryan is on a lap though. He's already on pole. Can he go faster? 109.9 to be. Can he improve on his own time? No, he can't. He stays pole on 109.9, but perhaps now the initiative is with this man, F1 Leclerc, to take pole with BXTN not setting a lap. Roll Hard Lad finished his lap in third. F1 Leclerc is the next person to go. Can he improve? Can Roland improve? After the absolute implosion of McLaren, Roland still has a chance of perhaps getting a position or two here if he can improve his lap time. Championship leader Matt 45 as well is on a lap, and as is Funky Burger. I think Roland is going to be the first one to complete his lap of the ones that are still going. Let's see how we do. As he goes around the final corner. Roland crosses the line. 1:11.1. Good lap, Roland. He displaces Big Will for second. But remember, Roland does have a 5-place grid penalty. But this is what we must focus on now. F1 Leclerc as he comes down the line. Can he take pole? No, he can't. Only third place for F1 Leclerc. He does get ahead of Rohard Lad. But Constant Ryan remains in pole. As now we focus on the championship leader, Matt 45, as he comes around the final corner. Powers down the straight. Can he get any higher than 9th place? No, he can't. Only 9th place for the championship leader. It will be 8th place, though, with Roland's grid drop. Now, Funky Burger is the only person who can go faster. A bit of an understeer there. Can he improve on 10th place? No, he can't. He stays 10th. It will be 9th, as I said, though, with Roland's grid penalty. Oh, what a session that was, though. Chaos, drama, fantastic lap times, and we have Constant Ryan 181, ignoring all of it. Double A has a penalty as well. Both McLarens have suffered from coming into contact with each other. I still don't know what happened with them, but Constant Ryan on pole, 109.9, the only man to get into the 109s. With BXTN 90 second for Toro Rosso on a 110.2. F1 Leclerc in second place in the standings, only third place on the grid, 110.2. Roll Hard Lad on Renault, 110.2. F1XL Swayze, 110.9 for Red Bull. Then the two McLarens, or grid drops, will be dropping down to 11th and 12th, promoting Big Will, Matt 45 and Funky Burger to 6th, 7th and 8th place on the grid. Holy cow! Pardon. So we're going to be a 5-minute break while everyone just takes a few minutes to cool off. And I think the McLaren drivers are going to need more than a couple of minutes to cool off from that. Whoo! What utter badness that was. I still want to know what happened with Double A and Roland for them to... I presume they collided with each other. Double A's retired. Roland has carried on, but both of them have been given penalties and will be starting, rather than starting 6th and 7th, they will instead be starting 10th and 12th. Perhaps the biggest beneficiary of that, though, is ZX Neglects in the Haas driver, who qualified 11th place but has been promoted to 9th in the Haas and will have free tyre choice. So that could be quite crucial for the Haas driver there. But let's have a look as we go. So as we know, Constant Ryan will be starting on the softs. BXTN 90 and Leclerc, they got through Q2 on the medium compound tyres. But when it mattered, they could not unlock the true potential of the soft tyres. And they couldn't beat Constant Ryan, despite only being a 10th or so off of him. That's going to be interesting. Perhaps Ryan is just happier on the soft compound tyres. But what will happen when things switch around, so to speak? Roll Hard Lad, a very good effort by him to put it 4th for Renault. Swayze 5th, not a bad result for him. Big Will benefited from the McLarens, but still a good effort for him in 6th place. Bit of a worry for Matt 45, the championship leader, only 7th, and it would have been 9th if not for the calamities that befell McLaren. Funky Burger has never seemed comfortable here all through the sessions, and he's only 8th place. as I said, neglects a good position for him considering he got knocked out of Q2. He starts 9th for double A 10th. And double A and Ronan will still have to start on the soft tyres they qualified on, regardless of the penalty. So McLaren have really shot themselves in the foot with this, as we see Ninja Bear 69, Snake Andrian, Red Double Dom, and F1XL Vellums propping up the rest of the field. So we'll see how this goes. Monaco is always a bit, it's either really boring or it's really manic and interesting. So we'll see how this one unfolds, so to speak. But I think we're in for a pretty exciting race, I think. I'm looking forward to this one to see what can Constant Ryan deal with the 2 medium tyre starting drivers behind him. And, well, we'll just have to see how this plays out. I'll take a break until the action starts. Jamie blows. Oh, roll hard. Either he's not happy with F1 Leclerc or he's just playing mind games with him. One or the other. Not sure which, but who knows. As we see, Snake and Rian has left the session, so perhaps more connection issues I did notice he was lagging during the qualifying session. The times, the quali times, he beaten by a whisker. It was very close, real hard. Leclerc and BX, I honestly thought they were gonna be first and second, but no, I thought Leclerc was gonna get on pole with how impressive his medium time was in Q2, but perhaps unable to, as I said, perhaps not quite able to unlock the true performance potential of the soft compound tyres. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm doing a good job in my first commentary outing for SFRL. But I do hope you're enjoying this show so far. Just going to take a drink to make sure I can get through the next 45 minutes. Snake and Rian gets back in the game, and we're actually underway. They're all starting to ready up. What are the positions? Okay, so here are the positions, ultimate base. I will show you now. In first place, Constant Ryan, 181 on the softs. BXC 90 and F1 Leclerc. Second and third on the medium tyres. I'll actually look at here now. Putting the detail on the medium compound tyres, BXC 90 and F1 Leclerc. They got through Q2 on the medium tyres, but could not beat Constant Ryan, even when they went onto the faster tyre. Fourth place, Roll Hard Lad on the softs as well as they go around on their formation lap. Fifth place, F1XL Swayze. Sixth place, Big Will, 1185. Seventh place, Championship Leader, Matt 45. Eighth place, Funky Burger 21. Ninth place, starting on the mediums because he was eliminated in Q2, is ZX Neglects. 10th place, Double A 1903. 11th place, F1 Norris. F1XL Roland 12. The two McLarens had an odd coming together in Q3, and they were both given 5-place grid drops because of it. I'm not sure exactly what happened to them, but the McLaren team really shot themselves in the foot as they're starting on warm softs now, right in the back in 10 and 12th, with why is it going all the way down to Red Devil Dom in 15th and 16th? Let's go back. Let's go down and see if it scrolls down. We should have a few more drivers there. I guess there's a couple that have disconnected or something. I'm not sure, but either way, Red Devil Dom qualified 15th. In fact, yeah, it was Snake and Rian, and I can't remember who the other driver was. It was a Renault, I think, but I'm not sure. But anyway, we have Red Devil Dom. F1XL Venoms was the only driver who was eliminated. And interestingly, he's starting on the hard compound tyre. So his plan will be, because of his cock-up in Q1, he will be trying to go longer than anyone else. And perhaps hoping for a bit of carnage up ahead. As they're all beginning to line up. As we see Red Devil Dom, the last one to come up onto the grid. So let's go on board. This is not a good camera angle though. It's a pretty terrible camera angle, but we'll go on board with Constant Ryan for the start. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's going. Constant Ryan gets a pretty good start on the grid, but BXTN90's got a good start as well. As BXTN90 is challenging around the inside, but Constant Ryan, oh, I don't know, BXTN has taken the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix on those medium compound tyres, managing to get a good start on them regardless. As there any Red Devil Dom did not get a good start, and there's contact! Some contact there, some debris flying all over the place. Ninja Bear has left, and for some reason I presume couldn't get into the game, as BXTN90 got a fantastic start off the line and took Constant Ryan, and that is going to be a problem for Constant Ryan 181 on the less durable soft compound tyres. He really needed to get away and not be overtaken there, so that is going to be a problem for Constant Ryan, as F1 Leclerc is 3rd, Rawhard Lad 4th, Swayze 5th, Big Will 6th, Funky Burger has jumped Matt 45 for 7th place as well. He obviously got a good start. I think there's more contact at the back, I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. It might have just been leaves, I'm not sure. ZX of Lex has not had a good start. Oh, he's 9th place, and he had started. Oh, look at that end plate. He's missing his right front end plate. So that might explain what's happened to him. It's BXCN, the first overlap, so he gets the first fastest lap of the race at 181. That will change soon enough, as ZX Neglects indeed had problems. He's in the pits. And what's he going? What tyres is he going on to? Can't quite tell. I think it's a. Oh, they're changing the wing as well. I believe it is a brand new set of soft compound tyres. So there's no way you can get those to the end. We've got a weird thing where it's showing me 1 medium, 1 free soft, but that's fine. Let's go back on board with the lead battle now. As BXTN still holds the lead on the medium compound tyres with Constant Ryan behind him. And Leclerc 3rd, also on the medium compound tyres. F1XL Venoms knocked out in Q1. He's had a pretty good start, passing Dom for 12th place. And remember, he's on the hard compound tyres, so he needs to try and close in on the pack as they jostle for position ahead, with Norris being his first target. But back up front, BXTN90 still leads the way, but Leclerc is now closing in on Constant Ryan 181. I honestly thought the mediums were going to struggle off the line, but BXTN90 got a fantastic start off the line. And Ryan's wasn't bad. Ryan's start was not terrible off the line, but for whatever reason, we have a yellow flag somewhere. Not sure what's happened. Whatever's happened, it's gone away as quickly as it came. Not quite sure what happened there, but it's fine. Let's hide some of this detail. Sorry. As Constant, they go around. Oh, that's quite an interesting cut there by Constant Ryan across the hairpin. They go down the tunnel. Constant Ryan needs to put pressure on BXTN90, but remember what I said in qualifying. BXTN90 is one of the toughest defenders in league racing. Honestly, if you get stuck behind him, it is so hard to get past him, and you can multiply that by about 10 times at Monaco. Just forget it, almost. You're really going to have to do something very special. As Leclerc trying a Leclerc down the inside, didn't quite make it stick, but perhaps just giving Constant Ryan a bit of a warning. Bit of a thing saying, but now he's put himself under pressure from Rollhard Lad by trying to get Ryan there. As they go around Sandoval, all seems in order. It looks like these 4 are going to be the 4 contesting for the victory today. Swayze almost 2 seconds off of this top 4. We've still got a long way to go though, so we'll see how things play out. As Venoms has dropped right off of the pack, and Dom has not also done the same. And Neglects is running last on the softs, having already made his first pit stop. As we go BXTN, as he goes through the Nouvelle chicane, still Constant Ryan putting on the pressure. Leclerc has actually dropped back from these two now. Perhaps his little move on Constant Ryan. We've got a yellow flag. It is F1XL Venoms, and he has crashed going through Mirabeau towards the tunnel. And that Williams is out, not going anywhere. Is it going to be a safety car? He has left the session, clearly upset. I don't see any signs of a safety car yet. You know, this game is, we got fastest lap of the race by BXTN 1:13. I don't think we're going to have a safety car here, despite that Williams being in a very precarious position. But poor old Venoms, it just didn't seem to be working out for him. The only one eliminated in Q1, didn't last very long in Monaco. It just wasn't to be for him, sadly. But let's focus on the battle at hand. BXTN 90 still leads on those medium compound tyres, but Constant Ryan is following him every step of the way. But what can he do? Is there anything he can do to try and pass, try to overtake? They're both pulling away from F1 Leclerc, who has still got Rollhard Lab for close company. With Swayze another 2 seconds back. Let's look at that down here. Swayze in 5th, Big Will in 6th place, keeping him fairly honest. Funky Burger about 2.5 seconds off those two. And there's a very big gap back to Matt 45, who has not looked very comfortable on this track all weekend. And I think it's showing by the way he is dropping off of Funky Burger, perhaps causing a lot of problems for the two McLarens, who did both out-qualify him, but due to grid penalties have ended up stuck behind the Red Bull, and they are not in a very good position, and they've got F1 Norris, the sister Ferrari, following them as well. So, been an interesting... ZX Neglects has stopped again, and he's got it all wrong there at the Monaco chicane. I don't know what's going on with ZX Neglects. He's pitted again. Oh, and he's mashed right into the same place. And we do have safety car. Safety car deployed after that massive crash. I honestly really hope that was not deliberate. It looked a bit deliberate to me. I might be wrong, but that looked a very, very fast entry into that corner. But the safety car has been deployed. And this could change the whole landscape of the race now, depending on if anyone is going to brave pitting now. So let's see what they do. Is anyone coming into the pits this lap? BXTN doesn't. Constant Ryan is coming into the pits. What's he putting on? Let's see what Constant Ryan does. Rollhard has stayed out. Big Will is in the pits as well for Alfa Romeo. Funky Burger as well for Mercedes. And looks like hard compound tyres for him. I think that's hard compound tyres for Big Will. And that's hard compound tyres for Ryan. They are going to be trying to go to the end of the race. Oh, that was close! Came out right into almost right into the path of Roland and Norris. As Double A has pitted as well, as has Championship leader Matt 45. Doesn't look like a championship leader at the moment though. He has not looked on the pace this weekend. But could this strategy call bring him back into the game? And will this cause problems for the likes of BXTN 90 and F1 Leclerc, who started on the medium compound tyres, perhaps was not expecting a safety car? And this has thrown a real spanner in the works there for those two drivers. So, BXTN 90 and F1 Leclerc on the medium compound tyres. Rollhard Lad, Swayze, Roland and Norris have not pitted despite starting on the soft compound tyres. That's interesting. Do they think their pace is enough that they can get a gap to the hard compound tyres before they have to pit? So this has changed the game entirely now, because we don't know who's got it right, who's got it wrong here. The leading of the drivers that have stopped is Constant Ryan 181 on the hard compound tyres. Big Will. Then Funky Burger is on mediums. Now that's interesting. I did not expect that. Funky Burger on the medium compound tyres, not the hards. Double A's on hards. Matt's on hards. Dom is on hard tyres as well. 20 seconds back, but he should catch the pack up for the restart. Roland is pitting again. What's he putting on? It looks a very slow pit stop, so he must have hit his wings somewhere. And he's going on to medium compound. No, that's another. No, is it mediums? Is it hards? Codemasters isn't helping me. But he's pitted again. Or in fact, no, he had stayed out, hadn't he? He'd stayed out, but now has pitted. And because he stayed out, got held up by the safety car, he's dropped right to the back. Only ahead of Red Devil Dom. So that's a bit of a tactical mistake on Roland's part. But he is on the medium compound tyres, whereas everyone ahead of him will be on hards. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make any inroads on the field. But Constant Ryan's got an interesting job at hand now. He needs to keep those hards alive all race. Funky Burger's going to be interesting. On the medium compound tyres, can he make them go 31 laps from now? They have done a couple of laps behind the safety car. That won't affect him too badly, I don't think. But can he make the mediums last that well? As neglected the session, not sure about that. Like I said, that looked very fast. The safety car's in this lap. Safety car in this lap. So let's see how we get going for the restart. We'll go on board with BXTN 90. Current race leader on the medium tyres with Leclerc, the only other one who started on the mediums behind him. Wohard Lad third, Swayze fourth, Norris fifth. All did not pit under the safety car. As we go again, I believe we have the green flag and we're off again as BXTN 90 gets away with Leclerc following behind him. And Wohard Lad behind him as well. But it's all pretty smooth as we go. Has anyone made any dives, any attacks? I don't believe so. I think they've all kept the noses very clean there. Probably the wisest thing. No silly dive bombs necessary at this point in the race. We've still got 30 laps to go. We're not even half distance. Nowhere near half distance yet. So, the question is, did Rollhard, Swayze and Norris make a mistake not pitting under the safety car? It has to be said, Rollhard is keeping with BX and Leclerc despite being on a tyre which is perhaps not better than the mediums at this point. Swayze is dropped off of these three by a considerable margin, 3.6 seconds off of them, and he's holding everyone up. Now this could be crucial for the top three. If Swayze continues to hold these guys up, this might play into the hands of the three ahead of him that didn't stop as well. Just having a look at Swayze, I think he has damage though. I just want to have a look at the left. Yes, he's missing his left front end plate. Swayze has a damaged front wing. That might explain why he's dropping off the top three so badly, and that is bad news for everyone behind him because Swayze is not running at his strongest, but he is holding everyone behind him. Now this could be crucial for the top three ahead of him. Whether they'll know Swayze has any damage, Rollhard might know. He might have got a message from good old Jeff saying the car behind's got a damaged wing. But there's surely no way BX and Leclerc know unless he's told them in the party. Which is a possibility. It does happen. But that's crucial. That's very crucial, that damage on Swayze, because it's really holding the hard compound. You can see everyone is being locked up behind them. Constant Ryan, there must be some frustration here. He knows he has to get past these two if he's got any chance of winning this Grand Prix. There's a 3 second time running for Swayze for multiple corner cut warnings. Oh, and Norris gets it wrong! Going through that corner, he's lost a chunk of front wing as well. How bad is the damage though? That's the question. Will he be coming into the pits? No, he doesn't. He stays out, so it's clearly not bad enough to warrant a pit stop. But just like Swayze was maybe holding everyone up, Norris is not going to be doing much better now. So Constant Ryan, there could be some serious frustrations here. He needs to pass these guys who are clearly running damaged cars now. If he's got any chance of winning this Grand Prix, he has to pass them. But that is a lot easier said than done at Monaco. The twistiest, most unforgiving circuit there is in F1. Back on board with the leaders. Rollhard has dropped off of the leaders very suddenly. Perhaps a sign of his tyres finally giving up on him, which is not what he needed. Not when he's got everyone being held up by Swayze and Norris. He doesn't need to pit now as... Oh, I think Constant was having a look there, but he couldn't make it stick. As I said, overtaking is nigh on impossible here. You have to know what you're doing to get an overtake done here. But let's see if Constant Ryan can do anything about the Ferrari ahead of him. And then the Red Bull ahead of him as well as they go through. Swayze's in the pits, so that's one obstacle that way. Rollhard is in the pits as well. And that is that Hard's going on him? Let's see. I believe it's Hard. Yes, it's Hard compound tyres going on Rollhard lad. So perhaps not very confident in his tyre wear. But that's one obstacle out the way of Constant Ryan. That'll please him a little bit, but he's still got to get past this Red Bull, Ferrari of F1 Norris, who is incidentally the teammate of F1 Leclerc, who is the driver ahead of him. So Norris could be doing a very good job for his teammate. There could be a lot of team tactics played in here. Ooh, bit wide of Constant Ryan, but perhaps he's looking for a wide line to get the best chance possible. He needs to pass Norris at some point to have any chance of winning this Grand Prix. You can tell by the way Norris is driving, he is slow, he is struggling. And Big Will is still sticking, he's about a second off of this guy, but you can tell Constant Ryan's been held up because Big Will is staying with the racing point. Funky Burger's staying with Will as well, Double A as well. But again, Matt 45 is not really sticking on the back of Double A. This could be a case of saving ERS, I might be wrong. But even so, as Constant having a look, and he gets a 3-second penalty for a multiple quarter cuts, perhaps frustration kicking in there. Let's go back on board with the leaders, BXT90 and F1 Leclerc. Still on the medium compound tyres. They're going to want to run as long as they can because they can't pit now because they'll come right into the midfield scrap. There's a bit of a touch of the wall by the F1 Leclerc there. So they need to try and form about a 20-odd second gap to Norris behind. It's just a case of how long can Norris hold off Constant Ryan, who I believe is having a look. Yes, he is. He goes down the outside. Oh, there's contact. He's forced off. He may have to give that position back, but he wasn't given room, admittedly. I don't know how he's going to feel about it. And there's a red flag. Funky Burger has retired from the session. Oh, the Mercedes driver clearly struggling all weekend, and it's not ended well for him. Despite looking on course for a good points finish, it just has not worked for Funky Burger. Ooh, that would have scared Swayze there. In fact, it did put him off as he's going through swimming pool. But that's a shame for Funky Burger. It just wasn't meant to be, sadly. As we go back on board with the lead cars, Leclerc looks a bit closer to BX here. BX has been known to be quite harsh on his tyres in previous escapades. But what's crucial now is Constant Ryan is now freed from F1 Norris's dirty air. So now Constant Ryan has got to put the lap times in to put these two under pressure. Assuming he doesn't have to stop again, he needs to put the hammer down now. And trust me, BX and Leclerc, they'll know. They will know exactly what's happening behind them, one way or another. Hell, they'll be able to tell Constant Ryan's in third now, so... this is where the crucial stage of the race begins. We only have 11 cars remaining of the 16 that qualified. 2 of them did not start. So one more retirement and everyone who's still left will score points as Norris is coming into the pits and Big Wall takes 4th place by automatically. As Norris puts on. In fact, I think he had a 5-second. Oh no, yeah, the 5-second penalty, and then had to change his wing, or perhaps there was just Codemasters being weird. I couldn't tell, but I believe that is hard compound tyres going on. No, it's medium compound tyres going on. I think he should be able to get to the end of the race. As Swayze is the fastest lap of the race, 1:13.5 on the medium compound tyres in 9th place. So Swayze is flying, and he is starting to catch the back of Red Devil Dom. The driver has not looked comfortable on this track at all. But if he keeps going, he may still be able to salvage a point if he keeps going. That might be what the Alfa Romeo driver is thinking at the moment. But Swayze is right on the back of him now. Leclerc's dropped off of BX again, I've just noticed as well. Having a look up there. Just having a look. Does Leclerc have any damage? Yes, Leclerc does have damage. He seems to have knocked his wing somewhere. Look at the front left end plate of Leclerc. He's missing his front left end plate. So Leclerc must have hit the wall somewhere, and this is going to scupper Leclerc's race chance of victory royally here. And BX might know the pressure's off. Leclerc has left the session. F1 Leclerc has left the session. Is that frustration, or did he disconnect? And this is crucial because Leclerc is second place in the standings, and with Map 45 not really looking in a place of challenge, he had a good chance to claw into that lead. But if he's disconnected, can he get back in the game? Or was it just frustration? I don't know, but Constant Ryan will perhaps be buoyed by this. He now knows there's only one car separating him from the lead, and we don't know if that one car has what it takes to even catch back up to him once he makes his mandatory pit stop. And will F1 Leclerc's ghost pit for him? I actually want to watch this, see if it does just that. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we'll go on board with the race leader, BXTN90, in the Toro Rosso car. Now all on his own, now no longer pressured by the Ferrari of F1 Leclerc. Oh no, F1 Leclerc's Wi-Fi gave up on him. That's what's happened to him. He's just messaged in the Twitch chat. That's so unlucky, Jamie. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, that's gutting for Leclerc. He like, you must have known with Matt 45 struggling as he has been. You must have known there was a good chance. Swayze, Big Will has pit. He must have. I'm guessing there was damage there somewhere, but he has pit. And that's interesting because he surely was going to be trying to go to the end like Constant Ryan is, but no. Something has stopped that from happening, and he's now rejoined last and 11th. As I said, this can be a game of survival as well as speed. So at the moment, I would say the only two drivers that are in it with a chance of winning this Grand Prix is this man, BXTN90, and this man, Constant Ryan 181. These are the two drivers who will be battling for the victory so far, unless something majorly interesting happens. Well, I say interesting, there's still some interest in going. Let's have a look at F1 Norris, having a look at Red Devil Dom, but nothing doing. And he's got the other Alfa Romeo of Big Will behind him on another set of hard compound tyres, it seems. We'll go through Swimming Pool and through the next chicane after that, which I can't remember the name of. I'll have a look at that, actually. I keep forgetting. Let's have a look, see. The name of that chicane, Nouvelle. Oh, it doesn't have a name. Oh, it's the Louis Chiron. Okay. I'm getting the ones mixed up, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. So at the moment, this is the closest on-track battle at the moment. Dom, Norris, and Big Will all fighting for the last points positions. But, you know, Dom has struggled, but he is keeping Norris behind him as Rollhard Lad receives another 3-second time penalty for multiple corner cut warnings. Leclerc wants me to invite him. I will just go do that. Sorry, I've only just noticed that. I can't seem to invite you to the game. What the fuck? It's not letting me invite you to the game, buddy. It will not let me. It's grayed out. Sorry, I can't do it. Damn it. I can't do it. Sorry, man. It's grayed out. It won't let me do it. As Norris has passed Red Devil Dom while I was looking into that. We actually have another close battle here. Oh, wait. It's it's Double A passing Leclerc's. That's interesting. Double A could be on for a podium here if he, despite the mishaps with his teammate, Double A is now in a podium position. So the question will be is when is BX going to pit? In fact, I know exactly when he's pitting this lap 19. So surely this is a set of medium tyres going on. I believe it is, in fact. Perhaps seeing that they've been working well for Constant Ryan, and he's off. So Constant Ryan retakes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. BXTN rejoined in second place. So as I said, it is between these two as Rollhard and Double A. Oh! I just got aboard of that. That was a very cheeky move. That's not normally an overtaking position, but Rollhard lad made it one. And he's taken Double A for third place. I hope that was clean. But it looked clean from what little I saw of it. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was a very impressive move by Rollhard lad. As now he moves up into third place. 9 seconds down the road from BX, who has made his one and only stop. But I think Rollhard lad will be content with a podium finish here, so we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, I'll try again. I'll try again to invite you to Claire, but it doesn't seem to work. It's completely greyed out. The invite to a game thing. It will not. It just won't let me invite you, man. I'm sorry. Oh no, he's back in. He's got back in. Leclerc has got back in to the Grand Prix. Perhaps looking to salvage something. Let's see when he takes control of his car. I think he has now retaken control of the car. But he's on soft compound tyres. Oh, no, he hasn't retaken control of the car. I lie. I think... I'm waiting to see when he takes control of the car. But he hasn't done so yet. Let's see, what's the closest on-track battle? We've got the two Red Bulls very close together, Swayze and Matt 45. Now, will they be free to race? Oh, very wide goes Matt 45, very nearly into the wall, but he kept hold of it. Will there be team orders here, or will Swayze be allowed to defend his position? This will be an interesting one here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Leclerc. I just could not do it. I'm glad you managed to get back into somewhere. Are you back now? No, not yet. Okay. So, let's see what we got going on. Matt 45 has actually dropped back off of Swayze. Has he got any damage? Doesn't seem like it. Perhaps he's just backed off, saving ERS. But crucially, I've noticed Swayze is closing in on Double A. That is because Swayze is on the medium compound tyres, whereas Double A is on the hards. Perhaps Swayze smells a fourth place coming on his way if he can get past the McLaren driver. It's an interesting little intra-team battle there with Roland 7th as well. Can Roland close in on Matt 45, who's Roland also on medium compound? Going very slowly there though. That was very slow. He got damage? I'm trying to have a look on his car, see if he's got any damage. Yes, look at that front wing, it's absolutely wrecked. So that'll be a very slow McLaren now. And that's going to ruin Roland's chance. I think he may still be on for a point or two, but yeah, that's concerning. As F1 Leclerc's pitted again, or at least his Ghost has. But I I think he's in control now. In fact, he may well be in control and just go fast lap. As Roland has retired from the session, perhaps didn't make it, or let's stay on board with Dom and see if we can see where he crashed. Ah, it was there through the tunnel. Hasn't been comfortable in the tunnel all race. That was where he had the incident with Double A, I believe. That does mean Leclerc will score a point no matter what happens now. Perhaps he's also be going for fastest lap to try and salvage as much as he can. But Leclerc's race has been highly compromised by his disconnection, and he knows he'll be lucky to get more than 2 points from this race now. But he may still be able to claw onto Red Devil Dom, who has had a lack of pace this Grand Prix, but will still, as long as Dom finishes, he will score points now, because there are only 10 cars remaining. So, is BXTN closing on Constant Ryan? I think he is slightly, but he's going to have to close in by... Ooh, and that's not going to help his scores, going very wide. There's another yellow flag. What's happened? I'm not sure what happened. There was a yellow flag somewhere. I did not see where, though. Not sure. I think Constant Ryan has let Leclerc go because he was on the faster tyres. Perhaps saw no sense in holding him up. But by letting Leclerc go, he has lost a second to BXTN 90, crucially. So, I wouldn't say this race is completely over. Remember, Constant Ryan pitted on those tyres around lap 4 or 5 when the safety car came out. Somewhere around there. So his tyres... In fact, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the tyre detail. Yeah, look at that. His laps are 17 laps. Oh! BXTN nearly threw it all away there. In fact, he has lost his end plate. BXTN has got damage. That could affect him quite badly. But he has got much fresher tyres than Constant Ryan. So, oh god, this is going to be pretty yeah. I can't speak all of a sudden. It's going to be very crucial as Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:13.5. As he starts to reel in the Alphas, first one being Red Devil Dom. He may still be able to salvage 9th place from this Grand Prix because the Alfa Romeo has not looked comfortable, as I said earlier. But I'm not sure if BX, with that damage, is going to have, unless Constant Ryan runs out of tyres, perhaps. Oh, Leclerc has left again. His internet issues are having issues, yeah. He's just messaged the Twitch chat saying he's gone again as well. So, something not quite right for F1 Leclerc, and this is costing him a very... He had been looking on for a very good result, and his internet has sadly let him down, it seems. Which is absolutely gutting. Absolutely gutting for the Ferrari driver, who was looking to take advantage of a struggling no-scope Matt 45 to try and claw back into his lead, but instead it looks as though, despite not looking comfortable at this track at all, it looks as though Matt 45 is going to extend his title lead at the front with his teammate just ahead of him and no one else really that close to him in the standings. As long as he keeps going and finishes, he will extend his title lead. He's looking on course for a solid 6th place as long as he makes no more mistakes. So it's been a difficult weekend, but at the end of the day, No Scope is having the last laugh at the moment, and so is Constant Ryan. Despite being on very old tyres, he is pulling away from BXTN 90, who, as we saw, what's going on with my nose? Who, as we saw, has damage. I don't know if... No, I don't think Constant Ryan has any damage to speak of, as he comes up to lap Red Devil Dom in the Alfa Romeo. I'm sorry, Jamie. I don't really know what to say without, pissing you off. They may still give you the 10th place and they may still give you the fastest lap, but I'm not sure. What's happened is Swayze has lost it somewhere, and he has ended up losing 5th place to Matt 45. Swayze has had an accident somewhere and he's retired. Perhaps frustration kicking in for the Red Bull driver, but that is a problem. He has retired on track, and that is something you really shouldn't be doing. Fortunately, he doesn't seem to be getting in the way of anyone, as Big Will takes 7th place. Means Red Devil Dom is going to be on course for 8th place here, despite his lack of speed, as long as he keeps going. But let's go back on board. BXTM90 is making no impression on Constant Ryan despite the fresher tyres. That wing damage must seriously be hampering his control of the car, which is a real shame. A real shame. Yeah, try and join again, Leclerc, because with Swayze out, the worst you can do at the moment is 9th place. So you can still get 3 points from this if you can get back in the game. So go on, give it a try. Don't give up. Do not give up. But that's a shame for Swayze. He was looking on course for a pretty decent result. He had some decent pace. He had been challenging AA. But it's gone wrong for him as well. It's, as I said, just like I said back when Olivier Panis won 1996, it was basically a case of surviving to the end. And these guys have managed to keep going. And I think at this point, with no one really close to anyone else, they may just be in survival mode now. Just, all right, mate. Yeah, Leclerc's not going to stop watching this, and he's going to try and get back in. So, thank you very much for that. Yeah, this is with the gaps all very spread out. The closest gap is between Norris and Big Will, 6th and 7th place. The Big Will could reel Norris in if Norris's medium tyres start giving up on him. But we'll see how that one progresses. But other than that, there's not really any battles going on. So while we're waiting on this, let's have a look at the penalty situation. See if anyone's got any serious penalties to talk about. Constant Ryan has 2 penalties. BXTN 90 does not have a single penalty. Now that's interesting, actually. So that means I think BX is still losing too much time. But that means if he doesn't have any penalties, he's close to the Constant Ryan, and perhaps this shows. If Constant Ryan gets any more penalties, he may be in trouble. But BXT90 needs to try and up his pace, which he may not be able to do, which is unfortunate for him. Let's go back to the penalty situation. Let's have a look at Roll Hard Lad, who has 1 penalty. AA has 1 penalty. Matt 45 has 1 penalty. F1 Norris has 1 penalty. Big Will has no penalties, not even a warning. That's very good stuff from Big Will. Red Devil Dom. Let's have a look at Red Devil Dom. Has 2 warnings for something. I'm not sure what happened. Perhaps 2 corner cuts on the same lap. I don't know. Leclerc doesn't have any penalties either, if he manages to get back in the race. And everyone else behind that is out of the race for good. Has he got back in the race? No, he is still ghosting, which is... I feel really bad for Jamie. He was... he looked like one of the fastest guys on track, and it's just his internet has let him down. As someone who has suffered from that a lot in the past, I know how heartbreaking that can be. He has joined back, though. He's got back into the game. If he can retake control of his car, he will be able to get back and perhaps go for another fastest lap. So, although it's definitely not gone the way he wanted, he may still be able to salvage something from this race. With there only being 9 drivers, points are absolute guarantee at this point, and could be more on offer as... Let's have a look. F1 Norris is starting to close in on Matt 45, and he's actually distanced himself from Big Will in 7th. So I believe he is the man on the move. He's the only driver outside of Leclerc on the medium tyres, so he should technically be the fastest guy on track at the moment. Let's go on board with him as he goes up towards there and through to Casino. Good corner there onto the first part of Mirabeau. He is visibly getting very close to that Red Bull, and well, I think Leclerc will be egging him on to try and take as many points as he can off of his championship rival. This will be very important for Ferrari and for F1 Leclerc. They need Norris to take to take the points off of Matt 45 if he can. Let's have a look. I'm just going to go back to the penalties and double check the penalty situation of the two. Matt has one and Norris has one as well. So this is a straight fight. As long as none of the other two get the penalties, this is a straight fight to the finish between these two. And it's the closest battle on track. There isn't another gap outside of 5 seconds. Matt 45 has not looked comfortable at all throughout this weekend. And this could be a crucial battle for the championship. This is 2 points on offer here for F1 Norris to steal off of Matt 45. And it'll be very crucial for both the Constructors and Drivers' Championship. As we keep on board as they go up the hill. Sliding it around the left corner. Oh, takes a wide line through Casino. Still wide. Perhaps trying to find a way around the Red Bull. But nothing doing. This will be a true champion's test of that 45. Can he hold off the very fast Ferrari behind him? We've got 7 laps to go. 7 and a bit laps to go of this Monaco Grand Prix. Although it might be a bit more than that for these two because they are a fair bit off of the leader. In fact, let's have a look how far these two are off the leader. They're 50 seconds off of Constant Ryan. So, yeah, it could be a bit longer for them. I don't think they'll be laps as long as they keep at this pace. Nothing happens. It's a very slow corner for as fast as lap of the race go to F1 Leclerc. 1:13.2. Can he take... There's a yellow flag, though. What's happened? It's gone as fast as it came. Pardon my friend. Pardon my wording. Double A has some damage. It might have been Double A. He has a bit of damage on his end plate. I'm not sure what happened. An interesting thing here is Matt 45 is definitely holding Norris up here. This Big Will is starting to close in on him a tiny fraction. He's on fresher tyres than Matt 45. So. I've enjoyed this, but my voice is starting to get a bit on the ragged edge of it, but it's been good fun, this. I've really enjoyed my first solo commentary outing for Supreme F1 Racing League. I've really enjoyed commentating on this race. I hope you've all enjoyed having me on board as well, as we keep focus on this crucial battle for 5th place. Goes through the swimming pool section towards Rascasse they go. No Leclerc style dive bombs even thought about there, but Norris is very close on the back of him. Does he have the speed to try something up Sandoval? No, he doesn't. A smooth line through. Could he try something up the hill? He's harrying the Red Bull driver, trying to force a mistake. But this is why Matt 45 leads the championship. Even when it's not going his way, he's got the racing pedigree. It's clear to see. He is doing a very good job of keeping this fast Ferrari behind him. But all the while, this man is closing back in on them. And remember, those two have penalties. Big Will, I believe, I'll double check to check it hasn't changed. No, Big Will has one warning. If Big Will can close in on these two, he can leapfrog the two of them for 5th place. But this is crucial. And in fact, he's really closing in on them now. Big Will just needs to keep his nose clean as F1 Leclerc sets another fastest lap, 1:12.2. As he's closing in on Red Devil Dom as well, who really at this point is just going around to make the numbers. I'm sorry, Dom, if you watch this back, but you are incredibly slow. And in fact, you've gone so slow, letting BXTN pass, that F1 Leclerc is all over the back of you. And he is looking to recover to 8th place and hopefully salvage 5 points from this race, where he honestly was hoping for maybe 5 times that amount. And Dom doesn't even put up a fight. He just knows there's no point getting in the way of Leclerc in the mood he's in. Not in his sort of mood. You do not want to get You just don't want to get in his way. So Leclerc moves up to 8th place, and with the fastest lap, that means he has 5 points on the board as long as things stay to. And Big Will is now just about within 3 seconds of the 2 cars ahead of him. The fact that Norris cannot get past Matt 45, the both of them could be losing their positions because of penalties. This is very crucial here. What happened to Swayze? I have no idea. I think he hit the wall and just retired out of frustration base. I honestly don't know. But for whatever reason, he retired, and there's only 9 cars left. And Big Will is now within 3 seconds of the 2 of them, near enough within 3 seconds of both of them. He could end up jumping both Matt and Norris for 5th place here, and he must know it. Well, he might know about Norris. I'm not sure if he'll know about Matt 45. But Big Will could be on for a good result here if he just keeps his nose clean. No penalties. He is nursing damage as well. Look at that front left end plate. He's nursing damage and still catching him. That must mean Matt. No. But if you look at Matt 45's wing, he doesn't have any damage at all on his end plate. That just goes to show you how much the championship leader's struggling. Oh, and Norris has hit the back of him. Norris has hit the back of Matt 45 and ruined any chance he had of a good result as he lets Big Will by. Perhaps frustration getting the better of the Ferrari driver, and the Scuderia and the Tifosi must be holding their heads in their hands. Norris, one mistake into the back of the Red Bull. He is going to carry on going. He could pick for a fresh set of tyres cleanly because Leclerc is 50 seconds down the road. But, oh, that is heartbreaking for the Ferrari driver as he hits the back of Matt 45 and has effectively lost any chance he had of taking him for 5th place. And now Big Will is closing in on the championship leader. This could, no matter what, this could be a good psychological boost for the Alfa Romeo driver, knowing that he's keeping with the championship leader like this, as Red Devil John gets another 3-second time penalty. I've just noticed as well, BXTN90 has pit, perhaps wanting to not give Leclerc the satisfaction of fastest lap, but by doing so, he has dropped to 3rd behind Rollhard Lad. Now let's just check the penalty situation there. Rollhard has 1 penalty. BX doesn't have any, so he should still be able to take 2nd off of the Renault driver. But imagine if Rollhard didn't have a penalty. What kind of strategical move would this have been by BXCN90 to throw away a possible 2nd place? But nevertheless, perhaps it could have been damage as well. I don't actually know what happened to BX. He may well have knocked his front wing. I didn't see, obviously, for obvious reasons. I was too focused on the Big Will Matt 45 F1 Norris battle. But yeah, he should still take 2nd place. But this does mean Constant Ryan is now cruising to what has turned out to be a fairly uneventful race for him, apart from the start where he pitted under the safety car. And he now holds almost half a minute lead over Rollhard Lad in 2nd place. It just goes to show you, your nearest rivals might be faster, but as long as you can keep it on the road, Constant Ryan, it's been a very impressive showing for the Racing Point driver. As he goes through the Nouvelle chicane, just check. A Big Will, let's have a quick look on board with Big Will. He is right on the back of Matt 45. Remember, last time we checked, Big Will had no penalties, Matt 45 had 1. So I don't think Big Will's going to do anything silly to try and pass him. Knowing. Let's have a Double A has had a fairly quiet race. No, not really close to anyone, not near to anyone else. All the attention from him came from the qualifying where he had the incident with his teammate crashing into each other. But he's on course for a solid 4th place position, which is good. Roll Hard Lad, he's had a decent showing, kept out of trouble, maybe not quite at the pace of BX, Constant Ryan and Leclerc, but he's kept his nose clean, and he's going to reap the awards and come home in a very solid third place. BXTN90, perhaps the only man who could have given Constant Ryan any problems, but perhaps wing damage put pay to that. But let's go on board now with the man who is going to win the Monaco Grand Prix, barring any silly errors at this point. Constant Ryan 181 in the racing points. This is going to propel him high up the standings, that's for sure. He was 10th place of 37 points. He's going to jump a lot of drivers and perhaps make his name known with a very famous victory as he comes towards Raskas, the second to last corner. Takes it nicely through the final corner as he comes down the pit straight. And he comes home to win the Monaco Grand Prix in impressive fashion. A fantastic win for the Racing Point driver. As we go on board with BXTN90, he has started to close the gap. He is 27 seconds down the road at this point. As he keeps going round, it's still going to be a good result for the Toro Rosso driver, who I believe is making his debut. But he nearly threw it away at the end. But BXTN90 comes home in second place. Roll Hard Lad, a good solid drive for the Renault driver as he finishes in third place. He did a little bit of a burnout for the crowd. He was in no danger of double A behind him, so why not? I don't blame him at all. And double A 1903. A bit of a scruffy qualifying, but he recovered well to finish fourth place. And now let's go on board with the championship leader. But remember, this is still a battle for position after penalties apply. Norris and Leclerc have come home 7th and 8th and 9th from Red Devil Dom. But this is the crucial battle. Has Big Will jumped Matt 45 for 5th? Yes, he has! A great result for Big Will 45 in the Alfa Romeo. Coming home 5th place, taking it. And I'll tell you what, Leclerc may be thanking his lucky stars for that as well. Because it means 2 less points that Matt 45 has taken out of his... has gained on him. But that is the man of the day, Constant Ryan. He was a constant factor in this race. The absolute measure of consistency. A great pit under the virtual safety car. BXTN90, a great race for him as well, coming second. And Roll Hard Lad, a solid drive for third place. There's our podium. And a good day for Force India. Not Force India, Racing Point. It's the first time I did that all night, and it had to be right at the end, didn't it? But there's your results of the Monaco Grand Prix. Constant Ryan 181 from pole wins with 2 time-taking penalties, but does not matter in the end. BXTN90 nowhere close, but ends up second place nevertheless. I believe with the fastest lap. No, it's not. F1 Leclerc still held fastest lap of the race. So that's Roll Hard Lad third for 15 points. Double A fourth. Big Will fifth. Matt 45 6th, F1 Norris 7th, F1 Leclerc 8th, and the final finisher, Red Devil Dom. He may not have had the pace, but he did keep going to take 2 valuable points for Alfa Romeo. And sometimes at Monaco, finishing is all that matters. Well done to Dom for at least getting to the checkered flag. The ones that retired, Swayze, Roland, Funky Burger, ZX Neglects, and Venoms. We lost 2 drivers at the start as well. I can't quite remember what their names were because they're not drivers I remember I've raced before. But that is all we have time for here at the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been a fantastic race. I absolutely enjoyed my debut commentary race for SFRL, and I hope you've enjoyed having me along as well. Thank you very much, and I will see you whenever I am next available to race. Maybe this weekend, it may not be this following weekend. But I promise this is not the last you've heard of me.